One of the geological features in the world that has received the most attention and research is the San Andreas Fault. This fault serves as the boundary between the Pacific and North American tectonic plates. This massive fault has been the focus of a great number of scientific studies, as well as coverage in the popular media. It has been responsible for a number of earthquakes, some of which have been devastating. However, recent research has shed light on a terrifying new development. The San Andreas Fault has developed a crack, and the tsunami that will result from this could be the largest in recorded history. Because of this discovery, there is widespread concern, and there have been numerous calls for immediate action to mitigate the potential damage. But to get a better understanding of why this crack could be so fatal, it is important to know exactly what the San Andreas Fault is. If you don't know what the San Andreas Fault is, you won't be able to answer this question. The San Andreas Fault is a tectonic boundary that traverses the state of California from north to south, all the way from Cape Mendocino in the far north to the Salton Sea in the far south. It is more than 800 miles long. It is the point where the Pacific Plate is moving northwest relative to the North American Plate at a rate of about 2 inches per year. The movement is marked by this point. This movement is not continuous, but rather occurs in spurts, building up tension along the fault until it is suddenly and violently released in an earthquake. There is a very good reason why the San Andreas Fault is one of the geological features that has received the most attention from researchers all over the world. It has been responsible for a great number of earthquakes throughout history, some of which were very destructive. The San Francisco earthquake of 1906 is one of the most well-known earthquakes because it claimed the lives of thousands of people and leveled a large portion of the city. There have been many smaller earthquakes along the fault line since then, but none of them has been as destructive as the earthquake that occurred in 1906. In spite of the fact that it has been known for a long time that the San Andreas Fault poses a significant seismic risk, recent studies have uncovered a new and potentially catastrophic development. The crack in the fault, which has been discovered by scientists, has the potential to set off the most devastating tsunami in recorded history. The researchers say that the crack extends for a number of miles and can reach a width of up to 10 feet in certain places. It is located offshore, just to the west of the northern part of the fault, which is at the point where the North American Plate is subducted beneath the Pacific Plate. If a significant earthquake were to take place along this portion of the fault, the movement that it causes could set off a significant underwater landslide, which would then cause a tsunami to be generated. The possible repercussions of a tsunami of this magnitude are absolutely staggering. It is possible for the wave to reach heights of more than 100 feet and travel inland for miles, wreaking havoc on cities and towns located along the coast. The damage to infrastructure, homes, and businesses could easily add up to billions of dollars, making the economic impact just as devastating as the environmental one. The number of lives that could be lost could be unfathomable, with tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people put in danger by the initial wave and the subsequent flooding. The finding of the crack in the San Andreas Fault, as well as the possibility of a massive tsunami, has prompted scientists and policymakers alike to express urgent concerns about the situation. It is imperative that measures be taken to reduce the risk in any way possible, because the potential consequences of such an occurrence are staggering. The unpredictability of the San Andreas Fault presents one of the greatest obstacles in the way of making preparations for a San Andreas tsunami. Although researchers have made significant progress in understanding how the fault behaves, there is still a significant amount that is unknown. For instance, it's challenging to foretell when a major earthquake will strike along the fault, and it's even more challenging to foretell the magnitude and timing of any tsunami that may result from the earthquake. In spite of the unpredictability, there are actions that can be taken to reduce the likelihood of a tsunami being generated by the San Andreas Fault. Improving the infrastructure that runs along the coast is one of the most important things to do. This might involve erecting seawalls and taking other preventative measures, with the goal of minimizing the damage that would be caused by a tsunami. Enhancing building codes and fortifying existing structures to better withstand the effects of seismic activity may also be part of the solution. Improving early warning systems is another essential component of tsunami preparedness in the San Andreas Fault region. This could include the installation of sensors along the fault to detect seismic activity, as well as the development of more sophisticated computer models to better predict the behavior of the fault and the tsunamis that result from it. Both of these things are possible. Early warning systems can give people precious minutes or even hours to evacuate before a tsunami strikes, which could mean the difference between life and death for many people. In addition to these preventative actions, it is essential to put money into public awareness campaigns and educational programs. There's a good chance that many people who live in coastal areas are either unaware of the potential threat posed by the San Andreas tsunami or are unsure of what they should do in the event of an earthquake or tsunami. People can become better prepared to respond in the event of an emergency if public education and awareness campaigns are improved. The terrifying potential for a massive tsunami that could have been prevented by the discovery of a crack in the San Andreas Fault is a sobering reminder of the incredible power that nature possesses. Although the potential repercussions are staggering, it is essential to keep in mind that there are actions that can be taken to reduce the risk, thereby protecting not only ourselves, but also the communities in which we live. We can reduce the potential damage that would be caused by a San Andreas tsunami if we make improvements to the infrastructure, invest in early warning systems, and raise awareness among the general public. It will require collaboration between scientists, policymakers, and communities, but if we all work together, we should be able to ensure that we are better prepared to face this potential threat. In the event that a tsunami is generated by the San Andreas Fault, it will be essential for people to evacuate and for emergency responders to act quickly in order to reduce the number of casualties and the amount of damage to infrastructure. In order to accomplish this, first responders and government agencies will need to effectively communicate with one another and coordinate their efforts. And coastal communities will need to have detailed evacuation plans. Community preparedness and public education will play an important role in ensuring that people are aware of the potential risk and are aware of what steps to take in the event that there is an earthquake or a tsunami. There is the potential for significant environmental and ecological impacts to occur as a result of a San Andreas tsunami, in addition to its effects on people and the economy. Large tsunamis have the potential to cause extensive damage to coastal ecosystems and habitats, which could upset delicate ecosystems and threaten species that are particularly at risk. There is also the possibility of a long-term impact on the quality of water and the marine life, in addition to a potential impact on agricultural practices and food distribution networks. The potential effects of a tsunami caused by the San Andreas Fault would not be confined to California and the United States. Rather, they could have international impact. It is essential for the international community to collaborate on the creation of comprehensive mitigation strategies and early warning systems, as well as the sharing of research and knowledge in order to gain a deeper understanding of the behavior of the fault and the potential tsunami impacts. When it comes to reducing the potential damage caused by a San Andreas tsunami, international collaboration and cooperation will be absolutely necessary. The San Andreas Fault serves as a constant and powerful reminder that our planet is in a state of constant motion, and that we need to be ready to face any challenges that may be thrown our way as a result of this. We can help to minimize the potential damage that would be caused by a tsunami caused by the San Andreas Fault, and ensure the safety of our communities if we plan and prepare thoroughly. Let us know how you would prepare for future catastrophes from the fault and similar catastrophes in the future in the comments section below.